Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and very good morning to everyone. Today we continue to the last chapter, which is sludge handling and treatment. So sludge treatment and disposal. In this process of purifying the wastewater, another problem is created, which is sludge. So we need to treat the sludge prior to the discharge to the environment. So the higher degree of wastewater, the larger residue or sludge must be handled. So lagi tinggi dia punya strength of wastewater treatment, so the larger of sludge produced from the wastewater need to be handled. So to treat and dispose of sludge produced from the wastewater plant in the most effective manners, it is important to know the characteristic of the solid and sludge that will be processed. So there are several factor need to be considered. Factor need to consider to select the types of sludge handling system process. So the first one is sources, and then characteristic of the sludge, solid composition of the sludge, treatment process, and then disposal. Okay, so for the first factor or characteristic is sources. So the sources of sludge can be first from the grid system, which is from the primary system. We have a grid as a pre-treatment process. So from the grid it will produce sand, broken glass, nuts, bolts, and other dense material which collect in the grid chamber. It's not a true sludge in the sense that it is not a fluid. So dia pun boleh jadi sources of sludge lah daripada grid system. Then the second one is from the primary or raw sludge. So sludge from the bottom of the primary clarifier contains from 3 to 8% of solid, and 70% of it is the organic contaminant lah. Okay, next is the secondary sludge, which is from the secondary treatment. So this sludge consists microorganisms and inert materials that have been waste from the secondary treatment process. And the last one is from the tertiary sludge, from the tertiary sludge from the tertiary treatment. So it contains phosphorus, which result from the chemical sludge, and it is difficult to handle and treat. Okay, next is the characteristic. So we have the first is typical chemical composition, such as total dry solid, volatile solid, grease and fat, protein, nitrogen, and phosphorus. Okay, the next one is the typical of heavy metal characteristic in the sludge. So this is an example of the metal which might consist in the wastewater sludge, such as arsenic, cadmium, chromium, cobalt, copper, and so on. Okay, for the next characteristic is the solid computation. So most of the wastewater sludge are primarily water. Thus, if we know the percent of solid and specific gravity of the solid, we can estimate the volume of sludge which need to treated. Okay, and the next characteristic is the treatment process. So in this treatment process, basically it consists of 5 steps, which is thicken, stabilize, condition, dewater, and reduction system. Okay, for the thickening process, basically it used to separate as much water as possible by gravity or flotation system. So for the gravity, it is best with the primary sludge from the primary treatment disposal, which increase the solid content from 1 to 3% up to 10%. And the next one, the flotation, especially effective on the activated sludge from the secondary treatment, which can increase the solid content from 0.5 to 1% up to 3 to 6%. Okay, this is the example of the flotation and gravity thickener used in the industry. Okay, the next one is the stabilize, where in this part it can convert the organic solid to more inert form so that they can handle or use as soil conditioner without causing nuisance or health hazard through the process digestion. So it consists of two types, which is the aerobic digestion and anaerobic digestion. So for the aerobic is in the presence of oxygen, and anaerobic is without oxygen. Okay, next, the third treatment is the conditioning. So in this condition process, the treating the sludge with chemicals or heat so that the water can be readily separate. So it will separate the water in the condition system by using chemical or heat process. So we call it as a chemical conditioning and heat treatment. So for chemical conditioning, basically it will add lime, ferric chloride or alum, and also can add some polymer, and these chemicals are added just prior to the dewatering stage. And for the heat treatment, basically it involves the temperature, high temperature and pressure. So the advantage is bound water is released and sludge is easily dewatered. So basically both of this process is to remove water from the sludge. Okay, next is the dewatering. So dewatering also to separate the water by subject the sludge to vacuum pressure or drying system. So also have two types of process, such as using the sludge drying bed as a drying process and filtration process in the vacuum process. So this drying process is most popular method since it is simple and low maintenance, and the filtration process is apply the vacuum to pull out the water, and then it will force out water by essentially squeezing water between two moving filter bed. So this one is commonly used compared with the vacuum system. Okay, this is the example in the industry for sludge drying beds and also vacuum filtration. Okay, and the last one is the convert the solid to a stable form in the reduction process. So using the wet oxidation or incineration system. So these are chemical oxidation process. They decrease the volume of sludge. Okay, so for the reduction process, which is divided into incineration and wet oxidation. So for the incineration process, basically it complete the evaporation of water from the sludge, and it's required fuel, and the solid material is inert. And for the wet oxidation, the treated sludge is wet compared to the incineration, and then it requires energy, and the solid material is inert. Both is similar, need the inert solid material, and the exhausted air must be treated prior to discharge. Okay, this is the example of the volume reduction using the high temperature fluidized bed incineration in the industry. So it will produce fly ash and non-combustible product. Okay, next is for the disposal, the last characteristic, which is disposal. So all the treated sludge can be disposed in using municipal solid waste landfill. So it depends on the characteristic and the types of sludge produced from the wastewater stream. And then and the second one is through the soil conditioning or land spreading, such as a golf course and other public recreation. So this sludge must have lowest or low heavy or low contaminants, which will not affect the environment, the water body, or also the groundwater contamination. And then as lawns and gardens, forest land, agriculture land, and the last one is for composting. So some of sludge, the treated sludge, which contains a higher nutrient, might be used as a composting to compost the plant. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.